Hello Simmers, and welcome to another speed building video. It's been a while since I've done a speed building video on this channel. You know, stuff happens, life happens. I just haven't had much inspiration for much at all to do with The Sims. But this time I have done something a bit different. It's not a house. It's a community lot. And after seeing the new windows and door assets from Realm of Magic, the things with the stained glass windows and everything, I was like, I have to build a cathedral in The Sims. I have to do that now. So this is this. This is this. I just, sentences. I am building a cathedral. And it's very cool. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Spent some time on it, but yeah, it's quite a good edit, and it's a good wedding lot. I did it with, I built the cathedral and then sort of decorated it with a wedding in mind. Furnished it, decorated, either or. So definitely a good spot to have a wedding. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the roofing of the little tower parts of the cathedral, and that's just me trying to figure it out, which ones I want to do, and then I decided to go with that there, and I'm just playing around a little bit with the curvature of the roof, and yeah, just kind of keep going with it. I think it's very clearly a cathedral when you look at it. Like, it's very obvious just from the outside. But yeah, just using the Realm of Magic things here, stained glass window and doors and everything like that. So yeah, it's and all the very highest wall heights, because it's a cathedral, and that seems about right for a cathedral. So yeah, it's probably the tallest it could possibly be. So yeah. And that's just me. The windows change where they are, like, multiple times throughout. As been trying to figure out how it looks from the outside as well as the inside. But yeah, I'm just here trying to sort out windows and everything. And honestly, I love the windows and doors that came with Realm of Magic. Not just the fact of the stained glass, but just overall they're just really gorgeous, and they really do add a lot. This cathedral could not be nearly what it was without it. Maybe because I wouldn't have had any inspiration for it without it, but it's just, yeah, I don't know what it was doing and why it couldn't go on that wall, so I had to like move objects, because it should have without move objects, but it wouldn't, so I had to use move objects to put the window on both wall pieces on each side of that top level. I don't know why. It was weird, but thank goodness for cheats like move objects. Honestly, I don't know what I would do without it. It's just a bit. And yeah, so with Realm of Magic and Vampires together, I think those were the packs that were used the most. Other packs were used, but they're the ones that have the perfect stuff, like the brick. I use the Vampires bricks because they're gorgeous, and I didn't really feel like the stuff from, I mean, the new brick from Realm of Magic could have been used, but it wasn't. I chose the Vampires one because I think it's my favorite brick in the game, to be honest. It's really gorgeous. So yeah, and then putting in some freezers and stuff as well, because the walls are so high, and then I could only use medium or small height windows, so there was so much space. So yeah, freezers seemed right to have, so it's just me putting there some staircases. Yeah, I didn't know what to do for the foundation. I don't know. I don't like most of the options for the foundation. Like, most of them are just not I don't. This is me trying to figure out what I'm going to do about the roof. I didn't want it to be completely flat at the top. And I was just kind of looking at pictures of different cathedrals, and it's not based on any one cathedral. I'm just kind of taking on inspiration from multiple ones. So this is just me here trying to do that. And I think the roof ended up pretty good. I do like how it looks from the outside. I would go to a wedding there. I wouldn't go to church there, but that's a different story. It's really is quite pretty, like in cathedral, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So, yay! This wasn't ever something I thought that I would do, and I usually don't do community lots. But here we are anyway. And I used the new stair configuration thing to put in the stairs up to the second mezzanine level, but oh my gosh, the thing is very finicky. The new stair thing is so finicky. This is me just moving things around, just trying to get all to sit how I kind of want to. Yeah, just kind of affecting those little things, but it's very finicky sometimes. Sometimes the build does not go the way you want it to, but I think it went pretty well with how I did it, with how it all went. So yeah. But I used a lot of the new Realm of Magic stair rails, Realm of Magic fence, Realm of Magic window and doors, and I'm pretty sure other stuff in there as well. And I'm just putting in a few little roof details as well, just because, cathedrals are where you're going to get the roof details. So I believe I used some Stranger ones, because those ones are pretty good. So that's just me trying to put that in. Just having a look at all my options. I quite like those sort of roof details for the top thing, and then yeah, it's something. I don't know what it is once you place something and why it would go to a higher level. It wasn't making any sense to me. It was being really finicky, more finicky than usual. I will put that on the update, having messed something up more than usual. But yeah, it's the same brick on the inside, because I feel like it's probably an older church that's been for ages, but it's been well kept, looked after, was the main centre of worship, and now it's just mostly used for like events like weddings and stuff like that, like big weddings. It's like a very much desired wedding spot that's really hard to get and really expensive. Basically, that's how I see it. I could be wrong, but here I'm just trying to make the altar slightly different tiles, so it looks, it looks separate from the marble flooring. Yes, I went with marble flooring. I was like, it's this old church. Say it's made like in the prime of the Catholic Church, where they were spending like lots of money on grand buildings and nothing to help the poor. But yeah, here I'm just trying to figure out, because I know a lot of the cathedrals, they have like the area, and they have a kind of archways as well going through, separating it separately. I was trying to do that, but then I did it with columns instead, and yes, that column bug is really goddamn annoying. But this is just me moving it all around, just changing everything, just to really do it. And then I use, so that's Realm of Magic columns and like the little thingy, the thingy between it. So it's just it gives a little detail to that lower room for the thing. And now I'm just trying to figure out the lighting. It took me ages. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have some nice big chandeliers because I could. And it seemed like the thing to do. Took me ages to get it right. Oh my god, I'm going to spend ages in a moment just trying to get the lighting right. I accidentally deleted the whole room at one point, and it took me so long to get it, because it didn't see that center part as a room anymore, so I couldn't add the floor. It was like, so I tried to use it with a move objects cheat, and then I couldn't get it right. It wouldn't sit exactly how I wanted it to, exactly where it should be, and it was bugging me so much. I spent ages. So I'm going to spend, I don't know how long I spent doing this, and I don't know how long it's going to be in this video because it's sped up by 4, basically. I think it was 4 or so, times 4. So, like, I'm going to spend ages before I finally decided to just redo a bunch of stuff, like, basically, because this was difficult. Look, I'm spending so long trying to get this, and the middle one was the most frustrating one. But I wanted it there. It needed to be there. And I'm just, oh my god, it was very frustrating. Don't do it this way. And if you build, do the lights before you delete the middle floor part, so that you can. This is me trying to make it a room. That didn't work. I still didn't see it as a room. So I just made it all one room, put the lights in, and then redid the fence, which I should have done right from the beginning. But did I? No, because I'm an idiot. No, just sometimes things. Yeah, and then I did it. There we go, and it's right. I should have done that right from the beginning, but did I? No. And then to add a little bit extra light down the bottom, I put lights on the columns. So that's just me doing that. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do it, what kind of light I wanted to use, all of that kind of thing. A lot of the lights just didn't give off enough light, and I didn't really want it, so I spent a while trying to figure out which one I wanted, but I think it is well lit. I imagine, like, once with candles have been changed to like electronic fittings, that kind of thing. It's just things change as time moves on, and it just kind of, yeah. So I used those lights from Seasons in the end, I believe, and they just seem to fit well with the columns, with the area. I was like, it has to be right in the middle, so I did delete that one and do it again. But so yeah, I think it just helps keep it lit up a bit more, and having it on the side of the column. Yeah, that's the lights anyway. It takes a while. And then I suddenly realized we do not have we don't have bathrooms here, and if this is going to be like a public area, especially somewhere that's going to be for weddings, I need to have bathrooms. So I put bathrooms in the front there, a couple of gender neutral public bathrooms basically, in that area there. It's just if you gotta go, you gotta go, right? It's just me doing everything. The thing, and then putting in some extra light. They have modern light fittings in the bathroom. I feel like they wouldn't have. I feel like it wasn't as important to keep up the aesthetic in there, so they just did the down lights like I have in there, because it's a bathroom. You go in there to pee. Wash your hands. You're not there for like the aesthetic. I thought about adding in the new toilets. from Real Magic. But then I was like, that's just ridiculous. They're not going to have that. They're not going to, like, say this was built at a time before flushable toilets, so that's what I imagine. So back when they used chamber pots or whatever. When they do put in, they're not going to... They're getting up with it. They're just going to use modern facilities. I feel like for bathrooms and stuff, you want to have things in place. For the pews, it took me a while to decide on the pews, but honestly the best seats are definitely those ones that I've put out in the middle there that are from Get Together. It's a good seat for a pew. I was like, do I want them to be angled? Do I want them to be straight? And then I was like, I don't want them to be at a 45-degree angle, but if I use Alt to have it at a slightly different angle, it's going to be impossible to get it all at the right angle, so they're just straight. Like many churches. I mean, what? This is a diverse cathedral and will accept marriages of any kind, so don't worry about that. So I was like, okay, well, if this is a wedding thing, I need to put in a wedding arch. I need to put in a few different things. So up on the altar I have a wedding arch. I put at a pedestal sort of altar-y type thing, like maybe that's where they put the communion. Not that there's anything to put there as communion, but I was like, oh, there's the communion. I don't know what a Catholic church is like. I know they have communion. I've only ever been to like Anglican churches, which is slightly different, but mostly the same. But anyway, I was like, oh, put the book that's like the registry or like the Bible or whatever. I like how I thought registry first. I didn't even think Bible until right at this moment. So, you know. And then, yeah, but then I saw that and I was like, no, that's a much better thing there. And they have that there, and then the priest, minister person reads that, and I was like, oh, we could put some urns there. And I'm like, that's weird. But I think I went with something else eventually, but I had an urn there for a while. And then I was like, oh, this royal thing looks like it could be a really good sort of era thing with the altar, put the wedding thing up there. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, I put that vampire's urn there for a while, but I definitely think that changed. I think maybe it was some flowers in the end, which is a much nicer thing than someone's ashes. Especially since I'm pretty sure for a long, long time, if they're not anymore, they were like against cremation. So, because you needed a body with the coming of Christ or something, I don't know. And then I put some seating up there. That's where they go for their meal, their wedding meal or whatever. And I just kind of scattered a few tables around, put on some seating, just a nice little area, and then it's a mezzanine floor, so like you could also sit there and watch a ceremony. Well, I mean, the Sims can't, but like in reality you could. And then I was like, oh, wait, if it's a wedding thing, they need somewhere to make a cake and stuff. So I was like, okay, we're going to have a little kitchenette area here. And I was like, oh, maybe it can be separate. And then eventually I closed it off completely. But I believe I used the Realm of Magic stuff with that as well. I don't think it was all. I think it was just the counters from Realm of Magic. And then the other stuff was like base game stuff. So, yeah. I mean, there are a few packs used. There's clearly not all, but oh yeah, and then that happened. Okay, fun. So yeah, and modern lighting in there as well because it's a kitchen, and they kept the brick look going because that just seems to be consistent through. It just seemed right. Got some windows in there as well, and then I think I moved those windows up because they didn't seem to fit. No, I haven't yet done that. I think I'm just trying to figure out what else I want to do, what else I want to add. Just little things, seeing if there was anything else I wanted to add to the room. I added gargoyles in the end because I was like, that's like all creepy and stuff, but like, there are definitely gargoyles. Like, am I crazy? are there, like, were the gargoyles in the Disney Notre Dame just for the story, or was there actually gargoyles in Notre Dame? I don't know. I've never been to France. I don't know what Notre Dame looks like. And then I was like, oh, maybe some flowers. And then I didn't. I just didn't like how it looked and how it turned out, and like also how the hell would you water those flowers? Not that you would. Oh my god, trying to figure out the freeze for that was very frustrating. But I got there in the end. Yeah, this just. Yeah. I think in the end, yeah. It's just mostly decorative stuff now, for the most part. I quite like the thing. And then, yeah, decorative stuff, and I think a few more, like, activity type things, like entertainment for weddings and stuff like that. So, yeah. Is a generic lot type, so I'm pretty sure you can't have weddings on generic lot types, but it's currently a generic lot type, and then, like, if you download it, you can adjust it as your needs demand. But yeah, I was just trying to readjust the windows to match with how the columns were, so that it just kind of looked like it went through the column more than anything else. But yeah, that's just adjusting and all, and I was just double checking that was actually the column color I wanted, but it was. But yeah, I put in a nice bouquet of flowers on that altar, on a little podium thing on the altar, and then just a few little plants here and there, just to really just complete it, make it look a bit nicer in the area. Yeah, few bits and bobs. No. I really do like how it turned out. I mean, if I was a bit more picky and a bit more finicky, I would probably go into a lot more detail. Like, you can see, like, with some builds, some people spend so long going to deeper, getting the tiniest little things. I'm not that kind of builder. I mean, sometimes I am, but not really. But yeah, this is just me doing the trying to figure out a rug. I was thinking of Realm of Magic one, but I think I'm with the vampire one in the end, because I like the colours for that one better. So yeah. So just put that through down there. As you walk down there, just a little bit of the long sort of rug runner. And just looking for a few little bits and pieces. I was like, I need to put a few things. I didn't actually put a lot of decorative stuff. It didn't feel right. A lot of it isn't something that would fit. Most of it isn't. So, it's that. Maybe if I'd gone into debug, I would have found something. I don't. Just no. It's just no. I find using debug really annoying, actually. So yeah, but I think it's for what I did. I am quite happy with it, especially like how it looks. Basically, like the shape of it, the everything like that. I like it. I'm looking forward to having my Sims get married here. Actually, this one thing. And then I was like, what do I want to do for the outside? Do I want to do any landscaping, anything like that? No. So yeah, I tried a few different things. I think what I had at the end of the recording session isn't what it's ended up as. Because after I recorded, I was like, and changed a couple of things, which you will see in the photos. So, even though it wasn't in the recording session, you'll still see it in the screenshots at the end. So that's alright. I don't know, having flowers at the front just didn't seem right for some reason. It just didn't seem to fit with what I wanted, so that ended up changing, basically. But it's only small changes. that it? I swear, there must have been... Oh, yes, hero. I was like, oh, wait, they need entertainers. So I was like, oh, let's put in a piano. And then I was like, wait, vampires comes with an organ. You need an old organ in a church. Oh my gosh. So it's got like a lot of instruments. So, you know, your guests will be entertained, definitely. But I think that is about wrapping up the recording. Yes, and going into the screenshots, it was raining, which is always fun. But that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.